Well, tomorrow marks a milestone for the farm worker community. They will be celebrating a historic march back in 1966 meant to draw attention to the plight of farm workers. Tonight, 23 ABC's Laura Acevedo spoke to one woman who made that march 50 years ago. Laura?
Jackie Cesar Chavez led the march that lasted 25 days and covered 340 miles between Delano and Sacramento. When the marchers would stop to rest, they say they were often beaten and put in jail. 50 years later, we found one woman who participated years ago and says it was all worth it.
On St. Patrick's Day, Thursday, March 17, 1966.
50 years later, Josefina Flores still remembers the day like it was yesterday. March 17, 1966, when 75 Latino and Filipino grape workers took off for the state capitol fighting for their rights.
You make us work real hard. Sometimes we pay you, sometimes we don't pay you. We don't have any restrooms, we don't have any water.
The farm workers were 6 months into their 5-year grape strike, but just 2 blocks after leaving Delano, police tried to stop them.
By the time they got to the main street, the cops stopped us in there, and they don't want us to go through.
But Cesar Chavez and the marchers were persistent. They were allowed to keep moving, with supporters joining their cause as they headed for the Capitol.
Every time we stop in some place, when you're in jail. By the time that we be over there in Sacramento, it's 10,000 people.
The march, organized by labor pioneers like Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, was the first time farm worker rights got national attention. The marchers called it a peregrinación, which means pilgrimage in English.
It was the concept of farm workers doing penance, sacrificing themselves, making a personal sacrifice to achieve their goals of self-determination and empowerment.
That was often met with violence.
I look like that when I see the man with a gun. And he starts shooting me. He gave me 7 shots.
Tomorrow, the UFW will celebrate the efforts made 50 years ago. Flores planning to hold the same Lady of Guadalupe image that led the march in 1966.
Pray to the Virgen de Guadalupe every time that we're going to go in a field, in the morning.
There's a lot more work to be done, but a lot of work has been achieved and a lot of victories have been made.
The march helped pave the way for farmers to allow workers to unionize and negotiate contracts and benefits with the growers. The event starts tomorrow in Delano with a mass at 10 a.m. Live in the newsroom, Laura Acevedo, 23 ABC News.